you guys are pretty good at that by now from intermediate and college algebra. Just wanted to remind you. You can say it either way. Going forward, we always prefer interval notation in calculus, so that's what we're going to stick with. And on my test, if you gave me either one, I'd give you credit as long as you do them correctly. Okay, so what about g of x here in B? Well, for vertical asymptotes and holes, I always begin with the hole, right? Do I have any cancellation of my factors? No. So that means there are no holes. Only if I have cancellation of my factors do I have a hole. You didn't see that, sorry. Yeah, there's no cancellation of my factors there. For vertical asymptotes, that means I still have two factors that are problematic for existence, right? If 2x plus 3 is 0, or if 3x minus 4 is 0, we would have an undefined function g. So that would mean if you set each linear factor equal to 0, that would be problematic when x equals negative 3/2, or negative 1.5 if you prefer. And when x equals positive 4/3, or positive 1 1/3 if you prefer, with 1.3 repeating. How did I do that? I solved those linear equations, set them equal to 0. So on a graph, that's two vertical asymptotes, isn't it? Okay, and I can begin my sketch. For domain, though, that's all they're asking in this basic problem. What x values are excluded from the domain? It would be anything in either category, right, in the domain. So the left one would be negative 3/2. So anything to the left of negative 3/2, negative infinity, approaching negative 3/2. Anything in between them, so union negative 3/2 to 4/3. This is the one some students forget about. They remember to go left and right of each of them, but they forget about in between. And then finally, anywhere to the right of 4/3. 4/3 toward infinity. So that would have been the interval notation version. If you wanted set builder, it would be exactly like this, except you'd have two things to say not equal to, but exactly the same logic. C is problematic for students, again, because of their algebra rough spots they haven't corrected yet. Factoring is a big problem for many algebra students. They still haven't mastered that skill. So let's take a look at how you'd factor that first for me. You have x squared minus 4 over x cubed minus 4x. See if you can factor correctly. I'll talk to you in about a minute.